submit this actual episode to, to a trademark authority, right? But what is enforceable? Is it the trademark? Is it the likeness, or what's enforceable?
That's the IP tools, right?
Yes.
So you can use them to protect your business, and you also have those tools to enforce your business. So if they're using the name, you can potentially, depending on the situation, you can sue for trademark infringement of the name.
Okay.
Then there's copyright. You can't just take someone's audio and video and use it and profit from it in some way, or even not even profit, just using it and harm someone.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned someone's name, likeness, and image. So the right to their publicity, that is also another intellectual property right that's separate. So if I were the attorney and it was a clear case of infringement, or we were going to allege infringement, I would probably have all three of those intellectual property infringement claims.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, so again, in the YouTube realm, which kind of focusing on, it's easy to do a copyright strike. All that makes sense, right? But now we get to a little funny thing called fair use. Walk us through that, Francesca.
Okay, fair use is not a right. It's very important. So people, you don't have a right to take someone's work and say, well, it's my right as fair use. It's not a right. It's a defense. So you could still be infringing, but then you have a defense of saying, well, yes, I was infringing, but it was okay because it was just purely educational, or it met the criteria for being fair use. There's 4 prongs to it. Yes. It is a test. It's an assessment. It is complicated as hell. Yeah. The courts, it's a mess. It is a mess right now. And so the Supreme Court is actually hopefully going to clarify this. They just took an appeal that will hopefully provide some clarity in the test. But even if they do provide clarity, it's still going to be confusing because I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I doubt they're going to come up with a black and white test. It'll probably be some sort of analysis, which is unfortunate for creatives and content creators because no one knows. And I'm good at my job and I still have to, say it's a risk, and it falls somewhere in, that's what I do is I say, what's your comfort level? What risk level are you comfortable with? Because if you're risk adverse, then get permission or use royalty-free content. But if maybe you are okay with it and you have a budget to defend if you need to, and you think it's fair use, then, that changes the assessment.
One thing I learned about by a business attorney, it's not if it's right or wrong, is it defensible? That's what he says to me. I call him up, I have a question, and he goes, Tom, do you think this is defensible? And then obviously, he gives me he weighs in. Oh. So it's not about right or wrong. Is it defensible? Again, at least of course, in his opinion. Okay. So now, it's gonna be interesting, right? And you're obviously not giving legal advice, and you're just 2 people chatting and having to be recording the conversation. There's a lot of trolls in the YouTube game. And it's interesting enough is I'm finding out there's actually some good trolls where they have they have a purpose, they have kind of an ethos, they have kind of parameters. Then obviously there's bad trolls, which are just bad people, right? And there's probably maybe a blurred line, but nevertheless, there's those 2 camps, right? And some of these trolls, what they do. Now, again, I want to preface this because I kind of get shit. I get emails from both sides. Okay, number one, I am a big free market and free speech guy. Point period, right? However, I also believe that creators' right to defend their IP. Otherwise, it'll stifle creation. So I like to balance that out, right? So let's just say, sake of argument, they're recording this actual segment. They throw a little party hat on me. They make it black and white. They kind of fuzz yours up a little bit, and they still play it and maybe make a voice go a little faster. Is that fair use, or what? That's a little thin.
Yeah, what you're getting to is the transformative piece of the test.
Yes.
So there's 4 steps.
Okay.
And one of the prongs is whether or not it's transformative enough. Because to your point, copyright law can't be so restrictive that it suppresses free speech and expression.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that's why we allow certain uses, especially in the art context, to create and make expressive works. However, we don't know. Like I'm an attorney, and
Yeah.
the test is really challenging. The cases are all over the place. So I do my best to analyze given the prior case law.